Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Welcome back to the OS Rig Project. I hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful Wednesday, a wonderful week. Had hopefully a great weekend also. I've been sick, straight up. It sucked. And it's not the COVID. All right, I took a test. I took two tests. All right, just to make sure. I think I had just the good old fashioned flu. It started Friday night. I felt it Saturday, but I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just allergies. Just kind of like runny nose or whatever. But by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so Wednesday, I finally decided to go back to work. I used some days off. It was fine. They don't care. You have your days. You have your days. I use a lot of that time to work on my other hobby. I've been doing some Age of Sigmar Warhammer figures. I'll talk about that more some other time, guys. But I've been having a blast doing that, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever did that as a hobby, but miniatures, I kind of like was miniatures. Okay, whatever. But actually, I saw my wife playing with them and making informing them and painting them. I was like, man, that actually looks like fun, and I got into it, and it really is. When you have that in your hand, just the little pieces of plastic and putting them together, all my attention and focus goes into that. I don't think about the bills. I don't think about work. I don't think about what I got to do. I just, what's in front of me. I just focus on that. And it's good, especially someone with me who starts getting, starts, stressing about stuff in the future. I mean, I'm really good at that. I just getting anxious about stuff. But when I do that, the miniatures, it just focuses everything. But anyways, guys, it's not about that. I'm talking about mostly about video games and what's going on. Again, guys, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Lots to talk about, guys. I missed, and I was planning on doing a podcast Saturday, but like I said, I was just sick, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait because you guys probably can hear it right now, but I sound kind of nasally, a little stuffed up. I'm not 100% there, but a lot better. And like I said, I'm good enough to go to work. Let's start off with the Sony State of Play, guys. Did y'all check that out recently? That was Tuesday of last week, on the 13th. Yeah, that was last Tuesday. I saw all of it. Not too bad. Pretty cool. They started off really strong with Tekken 8, and man, did that look great. I think they said they're using the. Damn it, I don't know. Write that down. I think they're using the Unreal Engine. I gotta double check that. I didn't make a note of that. I'm sorry, guys, but I saw the trailer. It shows Jin and Kazuya just duking it out in the rain in some sort of. I mean, you've probably seen the stage, right? I don't know the name of it, but I mean, it just looks legit dope. I mean, great. Looks great. They kind of alluded to it that there was going to be some news coming for the release back at Evo. They just showed a picture of Kazuya saying "Get ready." So that was back in August. So now in September we got more news. It will be coming. Get this, guys. It is coming to all of the current gen consoles. Okay, meaning PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and of course PC. When I saw that, I was thinking that is the move to make. You want your fighting games to be running at the best they can, and not that they're super taxing on the graphic side. At least I never came across a fighting game that is. It's just that the hardware, you just want it to run as smooth as possible, and that's the most important thing when it comes to fighting games. And if you ask anybody that actually plays, you don't need the flash. You need it to be stable and steady at all times. A lot of when I start off, when I play a fighting game on PC, I always just go straight to the settings and just put it to recommended. I don't put anything ultra. I don't need it to be fancy. I don't need it to look great. I need it to be functional, less input, no lag, be crisp and responsive as fast as I can. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters when it comes to a fighting game. I mean, if you want the prettiness, go play Forza or any just narrative driven game or some open world game. You'll get all the ray tracing and DLSS and all that fancy stuff. Get it there, guys. That's where you want the eye candy. Fighting games, yeah, does look nice. It does help, but that's not number one. It's not. But yeah, I'm glad that it's coming all to current gen, and that's the move. It really is. And I was talking to some friends online. They say this is the time to finally get a PlayStation 5. I mean, and it really is. If you're a fighting game fan, there hasn't really been a reason to get the current gen consoles because you probably play most of the fighting games you play are probably available on not only on PC Steam, but if they're on PlayStation, the PlayStation 4 Pro has been like the golden standard to play fighting games. It's just a really well-rounded machine to play them. So, but yeah, with this all being current gen, not only that though, it just takes advantage of the technology of connecting to the internet. I know the PlayStation. I know some PlayStation players who, like, even though they play hardline, it's still is not as robust as playing on PC. So I'm hoping with the current gens, it's going to be just better for that all around, and just a better experience, really. And it needs to be, because I mean, how many times you play a fighting game and the match just becomes unplayable, and maybe they are hardlined, but then you see a little PlayStation icon, you're just like, oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad. What do you guys think about that, though? Do you think that's going to be the future for all fighting games? Now, we do know that Capcom is going to be releasing Street Fighter 6 on just about everything, minus the Switch, of course. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a move to make. It probably won't. I don't know how it's going to look on PlayStation. I don't care. I don't plan on getting it. It'll be for sure PC. But yeah, that's something for fighting game developers to start looking at that. I mean, is it time to just rip off that Band-Aid and be like, all right, time to move on, guys? I mean, it's been 2 years. If you really want, I mean, yeah, our PlayStation 5 is readily available on the shelf at Best Buy. Maybe some places, I doubt it. Best bet, guys, I would say, and I mean this, if you really want to get one, there's some Twitter accounts that actually will give you announcements when they're available, and just follow them and try your best to get one, because this is going to be the best time to now want to start getting it. I mean, if I didn't have an access to PC, this is what I would want to get a PlayStation 5 for. And I am fortunate enough that my wife has one. But honestly, though, if you say, is it worth getting a PS5? There is no, maybe Demon's Souls to play on there. That's about it. But other than that, though, not much. What else do we have? We saw Like a Dragon Ishin, and I still like Like a Dragon, that came out 2019. I forgot when that one came out, with Ichiban and Adachi and all them. That one was a really good game, turn-based JRPG, but with a Yakuza series. And the Yakuza series, I've never been a fan of. I've heard of them, I've seen them, cool. So when I saw this Like a Dragon Ishin, I thought it was gonna be like a turnstile RPG, but it looks like it's just gonna be in the feudal Japan era, action adventure brawler going around. Like, I think I'm gonna pass on that one unless it goes on a deep discount. So I'm not really into that. But I think the studios that make that Ryu ga Gotoku I said they're gonna be. I think they said they're gonna be working on some other stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. And I'm excited because I wanted to play more Like a Dragon, but the JRPG style Like a Dragon, because like I said, that one I had a blast with those characters. I enjoyed it very much. And the Yakuza series, I do have Yakuza 0 on PC. It was like on sale for like dirt cheap for like $4.99. I picked it up, but I never downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I do want to try it out. but there's just so many things I've been getting into lately that it's hard for me to sit down and I should. We'll say that for later, guys. I did want to talk about games I have been playing, but I'll say that for after this. I still want to be talking about the state of play. Um, we saw Hogwarts Legacy. So when I saw the trailer for the Hogwarts Legacy and what they were doing, like it looked like a they were going through, what was it called, the haunted Hogsmeade shop. They were going through that, and I was like, man, okay, this actually looks pretty good. I wasn't really hyped for Hogwarts Legacy. I saw it, I was like, okay, cool. Harry Potter, nice, not too bad. I mean, I read the books, I've enjoyed them. I've seen the movies, I also enjoyed them. I'm not the biggest fan. You know, they're cool, they're fine. And the video games, I've never played any of the video games, but that's mostly because I've always had this mindset of video games based off of movie franchises equal bad. And I think that's still true. You could fight me for that if I want. At me if you want, guys. If you find any, if you have any proof. But so I never really cared for the Harry Potter games. But this one, you know, the WB studios are really focusing and making this like they're gonna make this like a legit game. And when I saw when it first got announced back in, what was it, guys? I think I talked about it before. And I saw like cool, whatever. But anyways, I saw some gameplay. I was like, okay, this actually looks like fun. This looks cool. I kind of want to try it out now. And then they said exclusive quest for the PlayStation 5, the haunted Hogsmeade shop. I'm like, you know, it's typical Sony to have just like exclusive quests or do exclusive stuff like that, because they've done it before with Marvel's Avenger. Like, only on the PlayStation can you play with Spider-Man. Okay, I get it. You guys have certain rights to some things. You want to implement that and put it in the game. Okay, that makes sense. But weren't Sony, like Jim Ryan over there, talking about how, oh, it's not fair to have exclusivity? I know, and to have exclusivity rights to Activision Blizzard / Call of Duty. I mean, I know it doesn't translate 1-to-1, but it's like you're doing the same thing just on a lesser scale with your quest. It's just like, anyways. But I just thought it was funny. Like, you know, yeah, we're gonna have an exclusive quest for PlayStation 5. And honestly, like, if someone says, well, I'm gonna get Hogwarts Legacy, I'm gonna get it on the PlayStation just because a test. Like what? Really? You think that's really gonna like persuade someone just to make a difference? Like, I was like, whatever. That's cool. Do whatever. What else did we see on there, guys? Oh, we saw some stuff. They had some stuff from the Japanese developers. Sin Duality. It looked like a mech third-person shooter. I briefly remember it. Again, guys, it was like last week. I was gonna like do a podcast like right on top after watching it, but you know, just being sidetracked with the sickness, I missed it. Okay, we saw Stellar Blade. It looked like a melee action. Looked really pretty. Good looking character models. Not bad. You know, if you like the over the top action, kind of like that Platinum style games, that's what I'm getting the vibes out of. So, okay. We saw Rise of the Ronin. That's from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. Again, I just kind of saw it. I was like, okay, all right. And then they finished and I'm missing. I'm kind of just jumping over, guys. I took some notes, but it's been a while since I've seen it. It's been over a week. And then we saw some more God of War Ragnarok gameplay. Now, depending on what day you ask me, I'm hyped for this game. I don't care for this game. I want to see more. I don't care for this game. I don't like it just depends. Sometimes I want to see some of this game. Sometimes I don't care about this game. I don't know. maybe once it gets closer and actually see more what's about. But when I saw this trailer, it looked like it was more in the same. And I'm fine with more of the same if it's something that I really loved. If I really liked it, then I'm all for it. I'm okay with it. But God of War 2018, I didn't love it. I played it. I enjoyed my brief time with it. I've already told you about how I felt about it. Like there were some parts where they did some really good parts, and then again it just kind of like they brought it to a screeching halt with the puzzle. That it was just not that it was hard, but it was just it stopped the action. And I guess that's deliberate because I guess it can't be just action packed all the time nonstop. It has to give you some breaks. But it just felt like it almost became like a formula. You find this new area, you fight the new monsters, do some puzzles, you get the new item, fight some more monsters on your way out, then you gotta fight a boss or something. And I enjoyed it, but looking at this trailer, it just looked it was more. Maybe they added some things, and like it looked like he could do like he could use his weapons to go from platform to platform to connect. Okay. Um, but beyond that, the moves, and honestly, I didn't use much of the. I mean, I used a couple of moves here and there. I didn't find anything too interesting. And that could be my fault for not exploring more, but I was able just to find something that worked, and I was like, okay, that this went through the game, and I played it on normal. Okay, so I never went back and did more. But sometimes, like I said, when I look at God of War Ragnarok, I'm interested, and then I'm not interested. I think it's gonna be cool, and then I just don't care. So I don't know. Depending on when you ask me, my thoughts on it changed. And they also announced they're gonna have a limited edition or exclusive God of War Ragnarok DualSense 5 controller, which fine. I mean, I have two DualSense controllers. The one that came, the stock one that came with the console, and the red one. You could probably see it right behind the monitor if you guys are watching the video. And that's because when one is dying, I just swap out to the other one. I really don't know. Like when it comes to limited edition controllers, and again, unless it's something that I really love, then I'll buy it. But the thing is, I like arcade sticks, and you guys have seen these up here on top, probably on the videos or when I do my streaming. I like arcade sticks because you can see more of the art, different styles. There's different internals when it comes to fighting sticks, of the components of what they're made of the how tight is the springs, what kind of buttons you're using, what's your layout, what brand is it, what kind of cherry switches do you have in there, so what kind of art do you have on the cover. So when it comes to controllers, fight sticks is that I do have a collection of those. Some are homebrew, some that I've purchased along the way, some that I've kind of swapped some of the art with. So those I do lean more on collecting those. But when it comes to just pad controllers, now I think we might have talked about it or not, guys. I don't recall, and I'm sorry if I did, and I'm rehashing this, but Sony did announce during, was it Gamescom, that they're going to have their own DualSense 5 Edge controller, and it did look fancy. Me personally, I've never used any of the fancier controls. I've always used whatever was stock. Me personally, when I use for my PC gaming, I use just an Xbox One controller. I love it. Ever since I had a 360, I love that controller. I fell in love with the design of the Xbox controllers. So this is when I play my PC games on Steam, I use this, and I love it a lot. And the DualSense controller, it's a fine controller. I like it. It's not too bad. I've only seen one game take advantage of the haptic feedback triggers, and that was Returnal, which I thought was cool. But I haven't seen anybody else use it. That's probably going to be something that's going to be used by Sony Studios. Honestly, I don't know if any third-party studios will implement that into the game, because if they're gonna want to launch it on different platforms, how could they, right? Not every platform has that feature on their controllers, so it'll be difficult. For sure, Sony could do it. Nope. I mean, because they know what they're working with. This is their own hardware. They know what they have access to. But looking at the DualSense Edge, it looked cool. And don't get me wrong, guys. At one time, I was eyeing the Xbox Elite controller. They look nice. The back pedals look cool. I mean, they seem like they could be very functional, and I have some friends that have used them, and they could attest by them, and it does make sense. You know, why have your fingers come off the camera button to to slide or to do a melee attack or whatever when you can have it access in the back pedal, that way you still have your thumb on the camera movement to move around. It makes sense. That really does. But I'm not, I don't use controllers in any competitive form like that. Maybe if I played a lot more fighting games on pad, that could be an incentive to try it out. But as for right now, I kind of want to play with it, but I don't. It's nothing that I'm dying to get. So I mean, if you guys get one, please let me know what you think about it and whether it's worth it or not. Because yeah, and that was pretty much it for the Sony State of Play. I know I missed over some stuff, guys, and you probably heard other people's opinions on it, which is fine. I just want here to show your mind. Overall, I thought it was a fine announcement. Had some good stuff. The ones I wish I remembered more how they looked like and played, but the Sin Duality and the Stellar Blade. I kind of want to check more of those out, guys. What else did we see on there? Oh, let's go to the Nintendo Direct. Again, I saw that one the next day, but that was been a week ago. I took some notes on some of the stuff that I cared about. A lot of it, I kind of just left it behind. If you guys really care, just go to the Nintendo YouTube. You go to YouTube and look up Nintendo Direct for September, and you get all the information. But a couple of things that I saw on there that I did like. And it's funny because I was watching with my wife, and there's a couple of games where like, okay, this is an auto buy, and one of them was Fire Emblem Engage. So it looks like it's another mainline Fire Emblem. The gameplay looks similar. It looks like you're going to be summoning heroes from the other games. Okay, cool. The only one I ever played was Three Houses. So this is going to be, this is going to be like a new experience. Even these, I seen Marth, but I only know Marth from Smash. I saw Lucina, but I've only know Lucina from Smash. Okay, like I could name you like the Fire Emblem Smash characters. I could name you some of those. Okay, Ike, Lucina, Roy, Corrin, only because of that game, and not because I played Fire Emblem. Okay. And they had, so I think this is coming out January 2023. This is going to be an auto buy for me, only because Three Houses was such a joy for me to play that I wanted to do this again, even if it's more of the same. Again, me going back to more of the same, guys. To some people, when it comes to a certain game, but to each their own, right? Like I said, when I saw God of War, like okay, but this one, Fire Emblem, I'm pretty excited about. So I mean, not only do I like it, but my wife likes it also. So I think it's gonna be a game that for sure I'm gonna be getting. And of course, they had, and this is something, it's been going for a while, guys, and you've all seen it before, but it almost feels like you're seeing it more and more and more frequently with the AAA games, where they're having this the one more edition, or the Divine Edition, the Collector's Edition, or the Juntun, what's the one with the God of War one? But they're having all these special editions versions come with it. And how do you guys feel about it? Now, me personally, I might get the day one version of a game. That's only because I ordered it that day one, and it might come with like extra cosmetics or whatever. But as long as it doesn't cost more, I don't care. Just give me the game day one. And sometimes it comes with some cool stuff. Cool, fine, no problem. But as for going out of my way and pre-ordering like the step, the step above base edition, like the collector edition, and then there's like the OMG edition. Sometimes depending on what it is, I can see the value. Okay, maybe not the value, but the want to collect some of the items that come with it, because some of them do look cool. Now, don't get me wrong. If I could go back and get a collector's edition, it would probably be the one for Final Fantasy VII Remake, the one for Elden Ring, and then one that's coming up soon is the one more edition for Persona 5 Royal. But look, but there is a jump in the price when it comes to the collector's edition. We know that for good reason, right? You're getting all this extra stuff. You're getting bonus art. You're getting some figurines, some collectibles, some stuff like that. And it's gonna just come down to the consumer, if whether it's worth it for them or not. And it's also gonna be depending how much you like this franchise or not, right? So those franchises that I named, of course, I love them, and I kind of want to get it, but at the same time, it's like I already have so much stuff. If you guys look at the video of the podcast, I mean, if you guys just look at the background, or when I'm streaming, look at the background, like I already have a lot of stuff. Do I need more of that in my life? No, not really. I mean, but that's a good way for the companies to have you to spend more, right? At the end of the day, that's what they want you to do. Like, if you're not going to spend more through the subscription, or through the microtransactions, or through the getting around paywalls, I guess they go make you spend more by getting the collector's edition. And Marvel versus Capcom Infinite, that's the one. That's another one where I wish I get the collector's edition. And look, guys, look. The Infinity Stones, they look like freaking Easter eggs. They look like garbage. But the statues that came with them look pretty good. I remember going to a Retropalooza. It's like a Retropalooza. It's kind of like, secondhand, old school gaming convention for video games. Not just gaming, but video games. It's all centered on video games. And one of the customers went up to my wife's table, and they had those MBCI statues. I'm like, where'd you find those? Like, somebody was selling them. I was like, and they actually look pretty good. I'm like, I was like, oh, I missed out. I mean, again, the Infinity Stones look like garbage, but the statues look actually pretty cool. It's like, oh, I'm kind of kicking myself on that one too. So Elden Ring, the Final Fantasy, and the MVCI collector, I'm kind of kicking myself on those. And again, end of the day, am I fine for not having? Is everything good in my life by not having those statues? Yeah. Do I need them? No. It may just something you want though. Like, I don't know. Like, it's gonna vary for person per person. And don't get me wrong. When I saw the Persona 5 One More Edition that's gonna be announced, that's gonna be released pretty soon, I kind of wanted it. Mostly because of the tarot cards that come with it. Because they all, if you guys have played Persona 5, each persona is under a different arcana and a different a tarot card, each character. And they look great. Have you guys seen the tarot cards that came out with Street Fighter 5 when Rose was announced? I don't know why Capcom didn't jump on those. That would have been like something to sell, because Street Fighter 5, one of my favorite franchises. No doubt I would have bought those tarot cards. But again, they didn't, and I'm fine with it. And where would I put them? It is what it is. What else do we see? We saw It Takes Two. That's coming out. Now, It Takes Two, what I don't care for the game. I have some friends who played it and they enjoyed it, and that's great. That's not my kind of game. But what I saw on there was that you could play on the same console, or you could play online with a friend pass. Of course, you must have an online membership to play. But so what I take from it is, if I have the game and I want to play with my friend Ruben, who also has an online membership. I don't think he does, but if he did, I guess I could share my game with him and we could play together. Now, that feature is really good. That's really, that's, I mean, that's awesome. That, and especially in a game like this where it takes advantage of playing with, I guess it enhances the gameplay to play with someone else instead of the computer. I guess, I don't know. I mean, that has to be just a really awesome feature. And I'm glad that, developers take that into account when making their games, because to me that just feels like they really care about their consumers, and they want something to share. And not only that though, but think about how, if you get that other person to play and they like it, maybe that will, like, in turn make them want to purchase it and then share it with someone else and play it. So that formula, in that way, I think that's a pretty cool feature. I like that a lot. That's a good way to get your game out there, for people to try it out. And again, I don't care much for the It Takes Two. I heard it was a good game. Never interested me yet. It never interested me. There's a couple more games that came out, guys. Like, again, you know how like Nintendo Direct, like, and here's a slew of games coming out, and I didn't write them all down. But one that I saw that it genuinely made me happy. Like, I was smiling from ear to ear. I was excited. I almost lost my shit. It started off with just gameplay of Octopath Traveler. Just kind of move like little characters running around. I've seen the world before, and at first I was thinking, oh, okay, Square Enix. And I know Square Enix has made like a Octopath Traveler companion or something, like for mobile. And I was like, oh, great. They're going to have like the mobile version. They're going to port it over to Switch. I was like, great. No, Octopath Traveler 2, a full-on sequel to the first one. And that just made me super happy, super excited. Because, again, I was going into it thinking, great, the mobile version that Square Enix made, they're going to port to Switch. I was like, oh, I do not want to get stuck behind paywall. Like, you guys, I hate mobile games. Free to play, I don't care. That's not for me. I don't and we could discuss it later on if you guys ever want to talk about it. But when I saw the fact that it was Octopath Traveler 2, a complete sequel, I was like, I lost my ass, guys. I was like, I was so happy. I enjoyed it because Octopath Traveler, guys, does it have its flaws? Yes, but the game is so much fun. So much it's a freaking nod to all of the the what turn-based RPGs were in the back in the day. There's some parts where you gotta grind. There's some things you're gonna miss. There's some things you gotta just get lucky. There's some things you gotta just explore and look around and do some grinding and find items and get like noticeable upgrades and try new mechanics and look for new hidden areas and hidden paths to get to everything. That's important for sure. That is very important, but the aesthetics that they do that game, if you guys have seen Octopath Traveler or something else from Team Asano, I think it's Team Asano, they recently did not Octopath, I'm sorry guys, Triangle Strategy, where it is that 2.5D pixelated sprites image, but it's in it's 2D images but in a 3D world, and it's wonderful. I mean, again, that's going to vary person to person. Some people look at pixelated art and like, oh man, it looks like old school dog crap. But me, when I see me personally, I'm a fan of pixelated art because I believe it just ages very well compared to, I mean, if you look at Super Mario Brothers, and then you look at Final Fantasy VII, Mario Brothers looks better, in my opinion. If you look at it, it's very simple. You know what it is. Final Fantasy VII, I love the game. I love the franchise. And I'm talking about the OG one. When you go back and look at it, it's like, man, it looks kind of, like anything from like the Nintendo 64 era, anything from the PS1 era, if you go back and you look at that, those first couple of games coming out in 3D, they didn't age too well. If you go back and you look at the Nintendo, Super Nintendo games with those, those sprites, a lot better. I mean, in my opinion, a lot better. I could be wrong. It's like, and again, it's going to vary person to person. But seeing Octopath Traveler 2 coming out, it made me happy. I love the game. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it a lot. Um, should it have been called Quad Path Traveler? Probably, and just focus on four people and really flesh out those stories. If there was one weakness to Octopath Traveler, it felt like, yeah, maybe the stories were a little light and before bouncing around to the other one, or there just wasn't that many interactions between all uh, eight travelers, which makes sense. How you gonna fit it all in the game? Excuse me. But they're gonna have so Octopath Traveler 2. It'll be coming out in February, and it's gonna be. I guess the one new mechanics is things are gonna vary between day and night cycles. Cool. I'm for it. I don't care. I want to try it out. But it's coming out in February, and if you guys know, there's been a lot of games that have been delayed and pushed back in February, so be it's gonna have some stiff competition coming out. So me personally, that's the one I have my sights on. I have the date circled. I'm going to be getting that day one only because I'm a fan, and I can't wait. I really am. Like, such. I'm so glad it wasn't that stupid mobile port. I would have been pissed. You guys remember E3 2019? It came down to Square Enix. They started showing some Final Fantasy Tactics gameplay. Like, all right, boys, this is it. They're bringing it over to the Switch. Nope. They're bringing it out to mobile. I'm like, you sons of bitches, dude. You sons of bitches. You got this awesome game. A console that's perfect for it. And you want to put it on mobile. I hate mobile, guys. I hate mobile gaming. I just don't like it. Don't get me wrong, I love my Switch. I don't mind that kind of handheld. But mobile, no. No, because I know all the strings that are attached with mobile gaming. So, and don't tell me there isn't any, because y'all know there is. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I want to play that one. Of course, you guys know I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy VII franchise. If I could get more of the story, sure. And I probably whether I'm kind of up in the air on what platform I want to get it, whether PlayStation or Switch. I did see it on the Nintendo Direct, so it will be on the Switch. I might get it on that one, but I don't know. We'll see. As the date gets closer, maybe I'll see some comparisons. Maybe some Digital Foundry will do some comparisons to see how it looks in gameplay. My only issue would be, how does it run on the Switch compared to the PlayStation? For sure, PlayStation's will be, just better all around. But even if it's 30 frames per second on the Switch, as long as it's playable, I would probably prefer it on that console, because I really do like my Switch a lot. There'd be some times where, I might not pick it up for a while because there's no game out there available. But when there's a game that really interests me and that gets my attention, oh, no doubt. I love that little console because I could just take it with me wherever I want and have a blast. And then they finished off, and of course, guys, they had some more stuff throughout the whole Nintendo Direct. You guys go see it and everything. Tell me what y'all think. And then they finished it with Legend of Zelda's Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I read it as first, like Tears of the Kingdom. What can I say about it, guys? It looks like you are visiting some sort of like sky islands. Okay. I'm all for it. It looks pretty. I think if you ask me, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is hands down probably one of the best games ever made. Honestly, if you think about it, if you played it, my time I had with it, it was great. No handholding. It's just like, here's the items. You want to go fight the divine beast? Cool. Have at it. Go explore. I have no problem with that. I think it's great. So if Tears of the Kingdom, if it's more of that stuff, maybe it's of course they're gonna add some new stuff. They know they have to. It taking place in the same world, just in the sky above, does that bother me? No, because honestly, they're pretty. I'm pretty sure at Nintendo they're pretty creative. They're gonna think of something with Legend of Zelda. They're not. This is one of their big three. You know, they're not gonna. They're not gonna give you crap. They know what they're doing. They know they have a fan base, and they know the fan base will say stuff if this game is not up to par. So I have complete faith in what they're gonna do with Legend of Zelda. Like again, when I played Breath of the Wild on the Switch, like wow, man, this really is a fun game. I like it. And there's some people who are gonna be like, oh, well, it's too empty, it's too boring, nothing to do. Your weapons break. Yeah, that does happen, but I guess it's not for you. I don't know. But honestly, if you guys if you have a Switch, guys, you should have Breath of the Wild. Play Breath of the Wild. It really is good. I like it. What else do we have on there, guys? I think that was it for the Nintendo Direct and the Sony State of Play. Tokyo Game Show. I saw some things here and there. Oh wait, they had something else. I think they had like a cloud version of something for. What was it? Damn, they had. I think I saw a trailer. They had like a cloud version of something for Switch. I don't know how you guys feel about cloud version of anything. I don't care. Don't care. I'm not interested. I'm not excited. If you gotta have a internet connection to play it, especially when it comes to the Switch, not a fan. Of course, when it comes to PC gaming and consoles, that's it's feasible. You know, being hardlined with those bigger consoles, you can. I mean, even with the Switch, you can, but you kind of have to go out of your way to do that. And I don't know. I guess because I've always come with it as a competitor standpoint, viewpoint. Because playing Smash online, I tried it a couple times to see how it was. It was not an enjoyable experience. It really wasn't. So, I mean, and of course, these cloud games that they have, and I forgot which one it was, guys, but they have mentioned some cloud games before in the past. Yes, it's not a competitive game where you have to be connected so you can make sure you get all the latency is down. But even like single player games, like when am I supposed to play that? When I'm not gonna play them on the go. I don't have a connection. It's not gonna be steady enough connection to play the game. I'm gonna have to play them when I'm strictly at the house. If I'm going to play games strictly at the house, I have access to bigger consoles and PC. So I was like, why won't I play? I mean, I said it before, guys. I'm grateful that there is options to play cloud versions of things, but I don't think that's the optimal way of playing it. I mean, the option is there. It's kind of like playing Witcher 3 on the Switch. Like, really? Like, you can't play that game. Like, if you have a Switch, you probably have access to some other sort of, you probably have a PlayStation or a PC. I mean, hell, you probably still have a PlayStation, like a base PlayStation that plays Witcher. I mean, wouldn't you prefer playing it there instead of the console? I mean, I don't know. It varies, right? So I kind of like want to use that. Oh, okay, hold on. I was going to segue into Persona, but I don't want to go to Persona yet. I still want to go on to Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show, the only thing I saw and cared about, ready? Street Fighter 6. Y'all already knew this already. Okay, you know who you're talking to. You're talking to your boy Rick. Excuse me. Oh, I'm freaking coughing up. I'm going to get water, guys. Street Fighter 6 was the only thing I cared about. The only thing I saw. I think Konami had some like more Suikoden being remastered. Cool. Don't care unless it was Metal. If it was Metal Gear, then I would have been super hyped. But it's Suikoden. I don't know. I don't care. Street Fighter 6. Have you guys seen all the stuff that's coming out? I don't care about the whole walking around Metro City, interacting with people. I don't care about that. The fact that they're going to be having, they already announced some of the characters are coming out. They announced the 18, I think it's like 18 character roster. Perfect size. I don't, if you're complaining about the roster size, what are you doing? What games are you playing? Shut up. Okay. You have 18 characters. Okay. If you're saying that that's too small of a roster, That means you're going to go through all these characters, learn all the trials, learn all the in outs, learn all the matchups before the next set of characters come out. You're not going to do that. 18 is a good number, okay? It's fine. It's works. It's going to be great. So that's coming out. Cool. They announced it. They also talked about how all the features they're going to set up for scenarios so you could test things out like in like in-game situations. They're gonna have tutorials. They're gonna have ways to use the training mode to set up different to have different setups. They're gonna actually give you frame data that shows you when your startup frames, when you're active, when you're in recovery, and they're gonna show you all that. Like they're giving you all the tools to make like if you and this is the angle I'm going to be approaching this game as a competitor. Okay, I want all the access to all these tools. That's going to be, I mean, that's just the fact that this is being included after coming from Street Fighter 5 launch, February 16, 2016, guys. I know that date. With that launch of Street Fighter 5, oh my God, this is going to be a night and day difference. Not only that, though, guys, they're going to have, you know, they have more on the casual side, but they're gonna have like these little different ways to fight each other. I saw bulls running in the middle of the stage when the characters are fighting. I saw one where they have just like a beach ball coming down. I saw where they had like barrels running around. Like they're gonna have some wacky modes in there, and I'm all for it. I am all for it. I mean, the more you could pack into a fighting game, so you could not only have the competitors in there, but the casuals to come in also. And remember, guys, they are adding the feature where they have the simple simple command inputs where it's light, medium, heavy attacks, not light punch, light kick, lights, mediums, and heavies, or light, medium, heavy. Like instead of having punch and kicks for each strength, you could just have 3. I mean, look, they're coming at it where they want everybody to play it, and rightfully so. I think that's awesome. Like again, I don't know. Wish I wrote down the name of the new directors, guys. But now that Ono's out, and don't get me wrong, what Ono did to get the Pro Tour going, the Capcom Pro Tour, that's awesome. That's great. But how Street Fighter 5 was handled, and how when these guys came in and how they handled Street Fighter 5 and where it's at now, Street Fighter 5 is in a lot better place. And you could ask any fan of the game, and I know it sounds biased, but if you ask any fan of the game, they will say Street Fighter 5 Season 5, this is when you get into the game. And that's because of the new direction that they're going with the game. And in Street Fighter 6, it shows. And I'm like, I was honestly, guys, at one point I told myself, you guys might have heard me say it, like, I don't care about Street Fighter 6. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to support what they did. But now with what I see, what's changing, the changing of the guard, complete 180 of what they're doing with Street Fighter 6, opposed to how it was with Street Fighter 5, I'm more in the boat, guys. I'm excited. Now, do the aesthetics kind of aesthetics? I don't know. It's gonna vary. Maybe the more I see it, the more I get into it. But just because I don't love it day one doesn't mean I'm going to hate the game. I mean, that's how I was with, again, going to MBCI. I thought the aesthetics were okay, but the gameplay was phenomenal. So again, with Street Fighter 6, even if I don't love the graphics of it, I mean, not the graphics, but just like the hyper realism, fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it, Rick. Just once I get in there and get my hands on the game and actually get to play it, I'll be excited. So, and they've been showing some stuff. They showed off some stuff from like some gameplay for Dhalsim. They showed some more of Ken. So I'm getting more and more, and they're gonna have crossplay. They have like everything you want that a fighting game should have, especially the fighting game. And I say the fighting game because honestly, guys, Street Fighter put everything on the map, hands down. I mean, who are we kidding here? The fact that they're doing that, I'm excited. I can't wait. They have I think they're going to be having signups for the beta trials coming out soon. I don't know if I'm gonna join it, guys. I've always been in the mindset of I'm gonna play the game when it's ready to be played, when it gets released for everybody. Uh, Betas, they're probably gonna be buggy, hard to get into. Um, it's gonna be a different game when it gets released. Now, if I was a, if I was the if I was the kind of content creator that needed to put stuff out there to get clicks and views and clout and everything, and then or just wants to make that kind of content, maybe I would sign up for it and capture the footage. But I don't care. There's tons of other people that do a great job at that, and I'll leave that up to them. Me personally, you all see me play when the game comes out, and y'all can catch my streams and everything. But Street Fighter 6, like and not only that though, but even like the fighting game community has been just excited for what's coming out. So I mean, what Capcom is doing with this game, with their one of their flagship games, I think that they're firing on all cylinders, and I think it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be way better received than Street Fighter Five for sure. For sure, I think they learned their lessons, and in this kind of environment, I think they learned their lesson. So I'm excited for that. A couple more things, guys, before we wrap it up. I know we're approaching the 1 hour mark. Nvidia recently announced their the 40 series. What do you guys think about that? Are you excited? This will be mostly for the PC gamers. Me, I'm not in the market for any GPUs. I know GPUs should be kind of more readily available. Over the last 2 years, they've been hard to get, honestly. They've been difficult with anything else, right? I mean, on top of just with the whole pandemic going on, the supply chain going on, with cryptocurrency going on. But I think that's the key, guys. That's what's happening. I know Ethereum is changing to a stake of proof system, where I'm not too sure what it is, guys. I kind of read up on it, but it kind of changes where it incentivizes you to not use. You have to look it up, guys. But overall, what it means is they're going to be using a lot less GPUs for crypto mining. So that should free up a lot of graphics cards to be available for people to get stuff, which if you're going to start looking around, I would say this is now the time to start looking at GPUs. Honestly, the 30 series are still phenomenal. The 40 series, from what I saw, there's going to be some nice stuff. But I've always been in the mindset when something brand new anything that's brand new of a new line coming out, there's going to be bugs, especially like these 40 series cards, where they're going to have to, be compatible with the new motherboards, with the new systems, the new drivers. And there's always going to be stuff there that's going to just get in the way. Now, if you're the kind of person that has to have the greatest, latest, and all that stuff, more power to you. Great. If you have, a 30 series now or a 20 series now, does that mean your card's going to crap out? No, your card's still going to be fine. It just means there's another options for the high end stuff. And I think they started off with the 4090 stuff. And they're going to be like power hungry. So you might have to rework your whole rig and get new power supplies. Who knows? But honestly, like, I see the 40 series, cool. I honestly don't care, as long as it brings the prices down. Okay, well, not just the 40 series bringing prices down, but the fact that crypto miners aren't using GPUs as often, they're not being as highly sought out. If that just makes it better for people to play games, the better, honestly, because I enjoy playing on my Switch. I enjoy playing on my PlayStation. But I really like the performance issues, the options I get, the options, the performance, the features when I get to play on PC. Honestly, just hands down. That's the way to go. If you want to do some like serious gaming, PC is the way to go. But yeah, I'm just hoping with all of this being revealed and announced, it's just going to make just GPUs more readily available, because I have some friends who been hanging on to cards forever because they just can't find new cards, and it sucks. But hopefully now, people, not just my friends, but everybody who wants to play games, especially gamers, have access to start playing some stuff. What else did I want to talk about, guys? Something else, and I know I'm gonna miss. Like, I'm gonna like wrap up the show, and then I'll be like, oh, why did I not talk about this? I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Anyways, guys, if I remember it, I'll write it down and do it for the last podcast. Again, guys, I know I sound a little congested nasally. I'm getting over this flu. It sucked. I'm glad I'm back and healthy. Take care of yourselves, guys. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Hold on. What I was playing. Let me finish. Let me a couple minutes, guys. Okay. So I finished. I've been playing Soul Hackers 2, and I don't think I'm loving it, guys. It's an Atlas game. It's all part of the Shen Megami, Shen 10, Titan universe, using the same monsters and everything. But it's not grabbing me. And I think it's because in Shin Megami Tensei 5, you actually go out there, fight the monsters, negotiate, talk them, and bring them into your party. You can actually go out and find them and bring them in. Persona 5, also, you go out there, find mobs, fight them till you get the one you want, and then, negotiate and bring them in your party. Great. On this one, you kind of, like, at the beginning of a dungeon, Ringo sends out her current minions, and they basically represent, chests and fountains to revive your HP and get you items. And some of the times you talk to them like, hey, this monster wants to join your party, but it's always like a random monster. It's not the one you want to find. And I find that kind of like it makes me wanting more. And it's not like the game is terrible. It's just compared to Persona 5 and Shin Megami Tensei 5, it's just not holding up. It's not standing shoulder to shoulder. It's a fun game to play. Maybe I got to give it more time, but I've been there. It's not clicking, and I'm gonna go back in there and try it again. So that's what's going on with Soul Hackers, Guilty Gear Strive. I was able to. I did a couple of streams. Yeah, last Thursday and last Friday before I got sick, and I had some people come in to chat, and I played them online, and they saw my tag on the twitch.tv/ whatever. So they came into my channel, and I've been pretty fortunate that when people come in to my channel after watching me play, or when people come to my channel, to my chat after a match, they come in and they just say GG's. Everybody's been pretty civil. No one's come in there blasting, talking shit, or getting a butt hurt for losing or winning, whatever. So I had some people come in. They won the match, and they came in, they said GG's, and they asked me, would I like to know more about Leo Whitefang, the character I've been playing? I was like, yeah, sure, hang out. And boy, did they teach me a whole bunch of stuff. I've been learning how to use the back stance more, using the block stance more. I mean, I am really, really liking Guilty Gear Strive more. And that's not to take away the saying that I hate Street Fighter 5, but Street Fighter 5, it's near the end. I've been stuck with Nakali this whole time. I've been choosing to play with Nakali this whole time, and I'm at the point now where it's like, you know what, Street Fighter 5 is kind of ending. Guilty Gear Strive is here. So I've been playing Guilty Gear. And man, playing with Leo, I've been having a blast. Just having access to all this other stuff, because I just tried playing him like really lame, just straight up forward. But once I was able to like utilize his back stance, oh my god, the game just felt a lot. I mean, I still lose. I don't win every match, but I actually was able to go up one floor, up to floor 8. Play a couple of matches, and I got knocked back down, which is fine. But I've been it reinvigorated my excitedness. I'm getting tired, guys. It reignited my wanting to play and being excited for the game. So I've been having a blast with that one, and I've just been enjoying it. For real, for real. So I want to go back and play some more. I'll be doing some more streams of that Thursday and Friday, guys. So make sure you check it out if you want to play some Guilty Gear. And I finished 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. That game right there, it is a side-scrolling narrative game and an RTS. They blended it. And I like both sides of the game. The RTS part was fun. Learning the characters, having different setups, different moves, bringing different characters or different units for different enemy types. And then the story. The story, at first I was like, okay, cool. And then it just got more twisted and convoluted and all these oh my god moments. And by the end of the game, I loved it. I really did like it. And I'm surprised that you know when you like something so much you want everybody else to play it, but you know they won't because it's kind of like not in the wheel. And like I said, RTSs and narrative, like literally narrative driven games are not in my wheelhouse at all. But 13 Sentinels, man, I'm telling you guys, and I played on the Switch, okay? And it was perfect for the Switch. If you have a Nintendo Switch, try out 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I really did love it. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to anybody who has a Switch because it was done really well. I enjoyed it, and then I actually went to YouTube and I had the ending explained because it's one of those endings where you're like, what the fuck? And then you go down the rabbit hole of videos, and it got to the point where they're like, it didn't sell very well. It kind of like bombed. I was like, oh, and you might, we might not see another game like it, which is unfortunate because the game was great. I enjoyed it. I want to see more of it, but I don't know how do you market a game like that to the masses? Like the highlight reel can't be all. It's not going to be impressive. I mean, we're going to show dialogue. I mean, who's going to be like, oh wow, the dialogue is really great? No, I mean, if a game like that to succeed, in my opinion, it's going to be by word of mouth, by telling other people, by seeing gameplay. People are going to want to get it, and that's how I got it. I saw some reviews on it. I knew that I had some friends. My friend Dirk played it, and I got his opinion on what he thought of it, and I took a leap of faith and I tried it out, and man, I was pleasantly surprised, and I really liked it a lot. It's a very memorable game, guys. I can't praise it enough. Like, try it out, guys. If you haven't access to it, I really do enjoy it. I mean, you do they have these little vignettes of stories, so it's like 15 or 20 minutes, and you go to the next one, to be continued, and you go to the next. So you could find little stopping points here and there, and then if you get confused or forget something, they have a remembrance as part of the game where they'll break down every chapter, so you get to go back and read something just to get caught up or to be familiarized with something. It's there. So that's what I've been playing, guys. I probably should have led with that first before I went into everything else. But that's what it is. Guys, I have some stuff lined up for the podcast for next month, so stay tuned for that. And what else, guys? Anyways, I think that's about it. But anyways, thank you for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. I miss doing this. I'm glad that I just feel better. Being sick suck. I mean, like I said, last time I was like sick like this was when I had the COVID back in the summer of 2020. So for me to be sick for a couple of days to actually call in for work, like that's for sure that I know I was sick. So, I'm over it. I'm getting over it, and I'm a lot better. And I'm just glad that I'm able to, hang out with you guys and do a podcast. And like I said, I didn't even stream Monday, Tuesday. That's how out of it I was. So hopefully, get back to normal. We'll see what's going on. We're approaching, it's the end of summer. We're getting into fall, so we're gonna be gearing up for some more games to coming out, some more news coming out, and I'll be able to stay on top of it and discuss it with you and give you my 2 cents. But anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, the rest of your weekend. take care of yourselves, eat right, get some exercise, go say hi to your friends, play some video games, do what makes you happy, guys. Find some hobbies, man. Like I said, I picked up building and painting miniatures, and I've been having a blast. And like I said, I still do gaming, and I love it. But get something else that you might not be comfortable with, and try it out, because you might be surprised. You might enjoy it. But anyways, guys, have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for listening, whether you're on your way to work or you're exercising or just bullshitting. Watch the videos on YouTube and catch my streams on Twitch. Thank you, guys. I love you. You have you want to message me, I'm on Twitter. Find me. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.